Matt will treat you right, as will all of the folks over at Sunrise Automotive. Matt Gibbs is in the studio right now to talk to us about our cars, and it's the device, the vehicle, the expense that we love and we hate. It's kind of a mixed emotion relationship between us and our cars. The show is called Auto Repair with Personal Care. Matt's garage is called Sunrise Automotive, S-O-N, Sunrise Automotive. And his car dealership, which is on the same property, is called Crossroad Auto Sales. I am a customer of Crossroad Auto Sales, and I am also a client, I guess. Oh, I thought she was waving. A client of Sunrise Automotive. Good morning, Matt. How are you?
Good, Larry. How are you?
You're not centered. There you are now. You were lopsided.
I was lopsided.
You were on the lopside of the picture.
It's my left.
How are you?
Good.
Do you need to know the law in order to do your job?
The law?
Yeah. Are there laws associated with cars that you must abide by? Just curious.
Well, in some states there are, not so much in Florida.
Because there was a story the other day that soon it will be illegal to work on your own car. So obviously you'd have to go to somebody licensed to work on cars.
Yeah, I don't see. I think that's wrong.
You think that's wrong?
I mean, what if you have a classic car? You can't work on your classic car, or you can't work on your truck.
Well, maybe you have to get a special...
You probably have to buy a self-mechanicing permit.
Yes, I bet you do. Yeah.
In some states, it requires you to be licensed through that state to work on cars, and I think those are states that have emissions problems.
So, what would be can you think in their shoes for a second? What would be the reason for making it illegal to allow the backyard mechanic to be a backyard mechanic?
The only thing that pops into my head would be safety things. Just making sure safety things like brakes and stuff like that are done correctly.
So,
you don't want to put somebody else in danger if you don't really know what you're doing.
So if I change my carburetor and the car catches on fire, I could be in trouble because I'm not licensed to change a carburetor.
I guess. It's certain things if you don't know what to do, you find out what to do. Ask somebody or.
See, there are some things in the news about cars that a lot of things really that. Have to do with the law. For example, another one, certain cities at certain times of the day will make it illegal to manually operate your car. You have to use the autonomous feature. Now, that's going to be interesting, isn't it? You drive into Jacksonville and got to let go. Sorry. Just got to let the car do its thing.
I'm just not ready to do that yet.
No.
Especially in my car, because I'm not going to go nowhere.
It is an interesting world, though. And everybody says this is not going to happen in my lifetime, but you think about, they say 2030 is the year where we're pretty much all going to be driving electric cars, right? Not necessarily autonomous, but electric.
Or alternative fuel. I would say alternative fuel would definitely be a better way of saying it, because something may come up that may be a lot more efficient than an electric car. So we'll just have to see.
Yeah. But I think it's going to be sooner than that, because here's why I think that. Right now, people who have money are buying the electric cars. By the time the year 2020 comes around, which is 3 years from now, there will start to be fines for driving gas-powered cars. Not in America, but in Europe. Okay. Right. So those people will say, well, I don't want to pay the fine. I'll just go get one of those used electric cars that somebody bought in 2017. Because those people will trade them in by then.
Yeah. Yeah, there might be a market. It's funny how... I can stop and I'm going to put the electric car, alternative fuel car to the side just for a moment and just look at when I started in this business, I was 17 years old. When I started working like at a dealership, and
you entered at the perfect time.
I did. I was so lucky.
You really did.
I did. That's right when the computer systems first really came out.
Yeah.
and I worked I worked at Lyle's Motors, which was the Oldsmobile GMC dealer here in town, and everybody in his shop was an old grumpy fella. And when they came out with all this new technology, none of them guys wanted to learn it. They were all getting ready to retire, and basically I became that guy. I was the young guy in the shop that's going to you let the young kid learn all this stuff, and it was really a blessing to me because I really learned it, and I learned it well. I didn't know any better. I just jumped in there and started doing it. So when I started, we had distributors a couple years into it, and there's no more distributors and everything. There's no more carburetors, and there's fuel injection and and all the electronics. And just since I've been doing this since 1982, the technology it's ridiculous what has happened inside a car since 1982.
Really?
It's just crazy. So at just in in these last 30 years,
right,
and watching everything change and evolve and stuff, what's going to happen in the next 20? You know what I'm saying? Because it seems like technology starts off here, and then it's kind of like, and then it doubles.
It's exponential, whatever the word is.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Do you know, this morning, Galen Unold from Life South calls in every morning, and he was at the Firestone place for getting new tires. He had a flat. I guess it sounded like on the way home yesterday, got a flat. He could not have gotten home had he not used that Fix-A-Flat stuff because he has no spare. And then this morning, he had to use Fix-A-Flat again, and then he drove a mile. He went to a pump, put some air, went another mile, put air, finally got to the place, and then they were putting a new tire on for him. And I told him what you said, that you hate when somebody comes in with a tire that has had Fix-A-Flat used on it. And he said, I know. People tell me that all the time, but I had no way of getting home.
And I don't mind if people use Fix-A-Flat, but it would be very nice, courteous, if you say, hey, because then I can do some things so that when I break the tire loose, I don't get Fix-A-Flat in my face. So,
Oh, it's a go all over the place?
Yeah, it just kind of it makes a mess. So if someone would just tell me.
So what do?
Well, I put a towel over the tire when I break the bead, so that the towel gets all the Fix-A-Flat on it, not me.
Oh my gosh! But why don't they put spare tires in cars anymore? What's the deal with that?
They do.
Well, he said they don't.
Well, they do. A lot of the newer cars are now coming with little electric pumps, a little tire that you have to pump up to put on your car. I guess they come to the place where so many people have AAA and some kind of roadside assistance and stuff like that.
So it takes so long though for that. It's so much quicker to just put a spare on.
Yeah, well, that's true. I mean, all the cars that we service, that's one of the things that we check is the spare and make sure the spare has air in it and
Looks
stuff.
like you have a phone call. Good morning. Thank you for calling. You're on the air with Matt.
Good morning, Larry and Matt.
Morning,
hey, Matt,
Frank.
Guess what?
What's that?
Guess what?
Well, I give up.
I got one sitting in my garage that has all that good old stuff on it. It's a 1950 GMC pick-em-up.
There you go.
And it is for sale right now, but I don't think it will be much longer because, it might be. I don't know. I need the money like crazy. But it's built the way I first drove cars. You know what I mean?
Yep.
My first car was a truck. You ready for this? 1946 International.
There you go.
I learned how to work on cars on that truck. I had that thing all the way apart. We had that sucker stripped down to where we had to put a seat on the frame just to drive it around.
Wow.
I'm going to write that story, too. We had so much fun with that truck until Dad took it away from me because I was having too much fun. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Frank. All right, we will take a little break, and we'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. On this Tuesday, some sunshine. Look for an afternoon thunderstorm, high 89 to 93. Tuesday night will begin with a shower or thunderstorm, mainly inland, and partly cloudy overnight. Low 73 inland, 79 on the coast. For Wednesday, times of sun and clouds with an afternoon thunderstorm, but dry at the coast, the high 88 to 92. Thursday, clouds and sun with a thunderstorm around in the afternoon, high 89 to 93. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
The very best in quality is Captain T's Upholstery.
Hey, this is Dan. Let me ask you a few questions. Does your boat look better with the cover on? Has your car's interior seen its better days? Stop using a towel to cover up those rips in the golf cart. Isn't it about time you had it restored to better than new with a custom upholstery from Captain T? Captain T's Upholstery has been right here in Ocala for nearly 20 years, so they know how to make your ride one of a kind. Whether you want to take that classic ride back to a factory look or put your favorite sports team front and center, Captain T's Upholstery is who to call. 352-369-1810. That's 352-369-1810. Or stop by their location, 5030 South Pine Avenue in Ocala, just past the drive-in. And of course, don't forget to visit them on the web, CaptainTUpholstery.com.
The very best in quality is Captain T's Upholstery.
Veterans are the foundation upon which our freedom is built. Listen to The Source, WOCA, each Thursday at 9 a.m. to Veterans News with Hank Whittier from Vets Helping Vets. You'll hear tributes, information on veterans issues, and stories that will make you laugh, cry, and feel proud. Veterans News always focuses on the military, past and present, and on our first responders. Veterans News is brought to you each week by Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens and Nursery, keeping you blooming since 1952.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
When we're stressed, we tend to take shallower breaths. If our brain isn't getting enough oxygen, it'll send signals to our body telling it to yawn deeply in order to get more air. Female Tinder users are 98% less likely to swipe right on your profile if your bio section is blank. Taking breaks does, in fact, help boost our mood and makes us more creative and productive.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Robin, how do you like my design?
You're designing a box?
That's not a box. It's a doghouse.
Rough draft for your rough? Sounds like you need personal service.
I do?
Yes, to print the blueprints. See Mark at the Personal Service Center. He can print blueprints, notarize permit applications, print and mail out invoices, and even provide great-looking business cards.
Personal Service Center. That's the one on the corner of Northeast 25th Avenue and 24th Street, right?
Just look for the yellow signs. Your pedigree palace will be a reality in no time.
18 minutes after 10 o'clock, Matt Gibbs is here from Sunrise Automotive. And if I could just give an endorsement from Matt, I have good things to say about Sunrise Automotive. Matt and his guys and gals are top-notch. I mean, they're on top of their game. They are fair. They are quick. They have allowed both Robin and I to take our time paying for things that took a little bit longer than we had money for. It's true, right? So it's a great place to go if you need your car fixed and how many times have we heard from somebody who they brought it to you and you said, oh, it just needs this. This happened to me actually. What was the thing I needed? Something. Philip came out and fixed it and he said no charge because it was a little tiny thing, a little piece of plastic or something. I can't remember what it was now.
I don't remember.
Oh, it was the light switch for Robin's car.
Oh yeah. Oh, the knob.
The knob. Yeah. What, you guys paid for that knob? Yeah, so
Maybe we did.
maybe you did. Anyway, and Crossroad Auto Sales, I can't tell you how satisfied I am with the car that I'm driving right now, and it's because Matt and his guys, they made sure that before they put a for sale sign on it, that it had the once over. I guess
it was worthy. It was worthy for them.
Because we love our cars. I love my car. I love driving.
Do you?
I don't want to be a liar. I don't always love driving.
I don't either.
But sometimes I do.
Yeah.
Is that not true for you?
No, yeah, it's true for me. I don't love driving.
Do you know at the end of my life, if somebody's asking me questions, tell me about driving. Do you know what comes to mind? Driving through the Carolinas back in the days when I used to do music in bars too, but colleges mostly. I was driving through an area in the Carolinas. It was a nice sunny day, and I was driving past like cotton fields or like farms. Oh my gosh, it was no more beautiful drive than that. Oh, and the other one was the Blue Ridge Parkway. Oh my gosh, that's
a nice drive.
That's when you just say, I love driving.
Yeah.
Or maybe I would say the beach when I was younger on the beach, but then it was more because of the girls than anything.
Yeah, and you can't even drive on the beach anymore, really.
Hardly, yeah. All right, so anything in the news that you wanted to talk about that is regarding cars?
I have no.
There was.
I went to Cuba last week.
Did you really?
Yeah. I went. Me and my wife and.
Did you see all the old cars?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really.
How long were you there?
We were in Cuba for 2 days.
How was your hotel?
Well, we were on a cruise ship.
Oh, on a cruise ship. Okay.
Yeah. And but seeing the old cars, they always talk about the old cars in Cuba and stuff, and they're there. There's no doubt about it. But I was seeing the ingenuity that these folks have to make this 1955 Chevrolet go down the road.
Yeah.
This guy, most of them are taxis. So this guy, he's trying to get someone to, and his car was sitting there running, and I'm like, that don't sound like no 55 Chevrolet. And so I asked him to open the hood, and it was a Mitsubishi diesel tractor engine in this 55 Chevrolet. Yeah.
Really?
So it was, that took some ingenuity. That took some creativity.
Yeah.
And we were walking.
Do you speak Spanish?
No.
Does your wife?
No.
Do they speak English?
A lot of them. Yeah, a lot of them, are, especially around the pier and the port, they spoke English. But we actually met this guy on the side of the road, and he was kind of drawn to Joey, and him and Joey started talking, but he spoke very good English, and he actually became like our tour guide. And so we went into the depths of Havana, and we gave out candy to kids. And
was it a mission, like a church thing?
No, we bought big old bags. We went to the new Royal King, and I bought some big old bags of candy, and we just stuffed them in a backpack.
Really?
And then we went walking the streets of Havana giving out candy to kids. That was the funnest part of the whole cruise.
Wow, that's cool.
Was giving candy to kids.
That is cool. I want to hear more about this. So so what else did you do there?
That was basically, that's it. And then we went to we went on a cruise, and they had their private island. And after we left Cuba, we went and hung out at their private island.
So this is earlier. You were talking about buying cigars. This was just last week.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about something a long time ago.
No, last week. Yeah.
Did you buy the cigars?
Yeah.
But you don't smoke them.
No. But you're in Cuba. You got to see the old cars. My wife, she took videos of us giving candy to all the kids and stuff.
Yeah.
And she just happened to get this. There was this old dump truck, and it looked like the front of it was made out of wood, and they painted it and made it look like metal, kind of thing. And but just seeing the ingenuity and the creativity of the people, that was pretty cool. The Cuban people were really awesome. They were the kids, you would have thought we gave them $1 million by giving them some lollipops and bubble gum and stuff like that. They really, really were appreciative. And
were there rules about what you can give away? Like, could you have given away iPhones?
Oh, if you want to give away an iPhone, you can give away an iPhone. There was, I don't know. We got off the boat and we just went walking. We actually ran into the guy. He plays in one of the bars on the ship.
Yeah.
He plays the piano, and he was kind of telling us where to go and what not to do and what to do and kind of stuff.
How long was the cruise?
It was 4 days.
Nice. Just you and your wife and Joey?
And Joey's girlfriend, Stephanie.
Nice. Yeah. Well, that sounds like fun.
It was. I probably wouldn't go back to Cuba as a vacation thing, but if there was a missions trip or something that was.
Do they need a missions trip? I thought that was a Catholic nation.
No, it's a communist. Well, there's a, the statue of.
Well, I know
Jesus.
it's communist.
Yeah, but it's. I don't know if Catholic is. The big statue in Rio, they always show it on TV. Well, there's when you coming into the port.
There's one in Cuba too?
There's one in Cuba.
Okay.
And right here's a statue of Jesus, and right next to the statue of Jesus is a mosque, So I don't know if it's a big Muslim, Catholic country, you know what I'm saying?
But so the communism, this is not about cars at all, obviously, but the communism doesn't necessarily trump the freedom of religion, I guess.
I don't know. I don't know how that all works. You know, when you're in Cuba, when you're around the Cuban people, these weren't the people begging at the port. And there was no people begging at the port, except for the guy. I had to use the bathroom really bad when I got off the ship. It cost $1, and I didn't have a $1.
Oh, no. So you had to beg?
I had to tell the guy, I will be back, and he didn't want me to go. I mean, he wanted me to stay there and come up with $1. I'm not giving him $20 to go to the bathroom. So I had to run and get my wife and say, "Do you got $1, babe? I need $1." I'm like, I'm not even gonna make it out of the port.
What was he? I mean, was he like guarding the gate or something?
Well, no, they're like, if you go into a bathroom, they're like, especially like a public bathroom, there was no toilet paper anywhere in the bathroom. There's no toilet seats in the bathroom. So in order for you to get toilet paper,
oh my
you have
gosh,
to see this guy, and he breaks you off a little piece of toilet paper.
No way.
Yes. Now I don't know how the women's bathroom.
I was gonna say, I think it's more important for them than us.
But I didn't, you know, and I went in there, I did my business.
You don't wipe number one, do you?
No. Well, when I went into the bathroom, did my business, I come out, and the guy's like, "Hey, come here." And he points down at the table, and there's all this money on the table, and I'm like, I don't, $1. And then he had his little roll of toilet paper, hand sanitizer,
man,
paper towels. So if you needed something, you had to get to see this guy. So I'm like,
how close were you to the boat? Couldn't you have gone on the boat?
Yeah, but then I would have had to go back through security.
Oh,
and all that kind of
stuff. Oh my gosh. Well, that is cool. Let me do a phone thing here. Good morning. You're on the air with Matt.
Matt, that must have been a pretty unbelievable experience. I was thinking those poor people in Cuba could use all the prayers we can possibly give them.
Absolutely.
You were, next week, talk more about your trip, but you were talking about beautiful rides. I don't know if you've ever heard or seen or know about some car commercials were filmed on a road called the Hawk's Nest in New York State along the Delaware River, Route 97.
Okay.
I bet if you Google Hawk's Nest, but it's an amazing ride. And then down below is the Delaware River, but this road curves and curves and curves. You've got cliff on one side and rocks on the other. So that's an amazing ride. So I just wanted to share that.
Oh, got to mark it down. We got some beautiful ones right here too, right?
Yeah. We really do.
Yeah,
and of course, you need a car to do that.
And you can go to Crossroad Auto Sales to get that.
And Sunrise Auto will help you maintain your car so you can take that beautiful drive wherever you want to go.
That's right.
You.
That's great. Oh,
what are you doing next Tuesday at 10?
Thank you, Lauren. Oh, that's too funny. Oh my gosh, I'm glad you shared that story with us. I wanted to hear more. So the car part of your trip, though, just to bring it back to cars real quickly, that was very enlightening for you. The body of the car defines what it is,
right?
Not the engine,
right?
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't think there was a old car in all of Cuba that had what it was born with.
I wonder why. I mean, when you go to Street View on Google, you don't see only old cars, though.
No, they got brand new cars. I mean, if you want to rent a Mercedes or a BMW,
they got them.
They got those. They just don't have American cars.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, we don't.
There was cars. There were brand new cars there. I don't even know what they are. They were definitely from Europe. You know what I'm saying? On the other side of the pond.
Oh, because of the embargo that we've had all these years.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that makes sense. Oh my gosh! Go to see Matt and Philip and everybody else over at Sunrise Automotive, and be sure you tell them thank you for doing the show, because it's a fun show. Oh, this isn't your song. Wait.
It's my secondary song.
Engine in the front, jack in the back.
There you go. There we go. All right, Matt. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry.
We'll be right back.
Matt Gibbs and the guys over at Sunrise Automotive will treat you
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu.
I think they hit him, and basically we hit him hard.
UN Ambassador Nikki Haley on new sanctions against North Korea, which is threatening retaliation for them.
Fox News being told by U.S. officials that for the first time in about 3 years, North Korea is loading cruise missiles onto patrol boats, anti-ship missiles that would patrol the waters off of North Korea.
Fox's Greg Palcott. The hunt continues for a suspect in the killing of an officer at a traffic stop in western Missouri late Sunday. 39-year-old Ian McCarthy charged with first-degree murder. Meanwhile, the search for an Ohio rape suspect who overpowered a sheriff's deputy is over.
Brandon Powell shot himself on Monday night. He